Welcome back. Carbon registries are a key piece of the global carbon offset infrastructure, and it's important to understand their role. Let's get right to it. Carbon credit registries are the public ledger system of the carbon market. They provide the infrastructure through which credits are issued, transferred, and retired. And they are the primary mechanism through which the market prevents double counting. Every credit issued under a major standard is assigned a unique serial number. That number follows the credit through its entire life cycle, from initial issuance into the registry, through any subsequent transfers between registry accounts, to final retirement. Retirement is permanent and publicly visible. Anyone with internet access can search a registry and verify whether a specific batch of credits has been retired, by whom, and on what date. This transparency is one of the genuinely strong features of the voluntary carbon market. Unlike many financial markets, the settlement of a carbon credit transaction is publicly visible. A company that claims to have offset its emissions can be held to account. Its retirement records can be checked. A company that claims to be carbon neutral but cannot produce retirement records is making a claim it cannot substantiate. The major voluntary market registries, Verra's registry, Gold Standard's registry, the ACR registry, and CAR's registry, are publicly accessible online. The Article 6.4 mechanism will have its own UN-managed registry, and CORSIA credits must be tracked and reported through ICAO's central registry system. Registry integrity, the robustness of the software, governance, and audit processes that sit behind these databases, is a foundational component of market credibility. The largest voluntary carbon standard by both issuance volume and active project pipeline is Verra, the Verified Carbon Standard, now formally branded as Verra. It has issued over 1 billion carbon credits since its establishment in 2005 from projects across more than 80 countries. Verra's primary credit type is the Verified Carbon Unit, or VCU. Each VCU represents 1 ton of CO2 equivalent reduced or removed. Verra maintains a comprehensive library of approved methodologies covering all major project categories: forests, energy, agriculture, waste, and manufacturing. In addition to its core VCS standard, Verra manages a number of additional certification programs. The Climate, Community, and Biodiversity (CCB) standards assess whether projects deliver measurable co-benefits for local communities and biodiversity. The Sustainable Development Verified Impact Standard (SD-VISTA) provides a more detailed SDG co-benefit framework. REDD+ projects with CCB co-certification typically command a meaningful price premium in the market. As mentioned earlier, Verra's REDD+ methodology, particularly VM0007, the most widely used REDD+ methodology, came under significant scrutiny in 2023. In response, Verra announced a major revision of its jurisdictional REDD+ approach and committed to methodological reform. The outcome of those reforms, and their reception by major buyers and by CORSIA's eligibility assessment process, will be a defining factor in Verra's market position over the coming years. Beyond Verra, 3 other standards play important roles in the voluntary market. Gold Standard was founded in 2003 by the World Wildlife Fund and a coalition of international NGOs. It is positioned as the premium standard for projects that deliver strong sustainable development co-benefits alongside their carbon benefits. Gold Standard certified projects must assess and report against specific sustainable development goals, and the standard's governance processes include mandatory stakeholder consultation. Gold Standard issues verified emission reductions, or VRs. It is particularly strong in cookstove, clean water, and community energy project types. Gold Standard was approved as a CORSIA-eligible standard, which has supported its market standing. The American Carbon Registry, ACR, was established in 1996, making it the oldest voluntary carbon standard. It operates primarily in the United States market, with a strong focus on forestry, agriculture, and ozone-depleting substance projects. ACR credits are CORSIA eligible and are also eligible for use in certain California Cap-and-Trade Program compliance pathways. The Climate Action Reserve, CAR, similarly focuses on the North American market. It applies rigorous science-based protocols, and its credits, Climate Reserve Tons, or CRTs, are considered high-quality assets. CAR is particularly active in livestock methane, urban forestry, and refrigerant destruction projects. For practitioners, standard selection is a material procurement decision. Each standard carries different methodology quality, different co-benefit frameworks, different eligibility profiles for compliance use, and different market reputations. Due diligence on the standard is as important as due diligence on the individual project. Looking ahead, the emergence of the Article 6.4 mechanism will introduce a new layer of registry infrastructure and potentially reshape the voluntary standards landscape. The Article 6.4 supervisory body will manage a centralized UN registry that tracks a 6.4 ERs from issuance through to use or cancellation. Uniquely, a 6.4 ERs will automatically carry a corresponding adjustment because the UN registry is directly integrated with national accounting systems under the Paris Agreement's Enhanced Transparency Framework. This creates an interesting structural dynamic. If a 6.4 ERs become widely available at competitive prices, they may displace demand for voluntary credits from private standards, particularly for buyers who require corresponding adjustments for their claims. Conversely, if the UN mechanism is slow, bureaucratic, or limited in project coverage, the private voluntary standards will continue to serve the bulk of corporate demand. The most likely outcome, based on the trajectory of the CDM relative to the voluntary market in the 2000s, is that both will coexist, serving different buyer needs. Compliance-focused buyers requiring corresponding adjustments will gravitate toward a 6.4 ERs and ITMO-backed credits. Quality-focused voluntary buyers may continue to prefer the flexibility and breadth of private standards like Verra or Gold Standard, supplemented by corresponding adjustments where those can be obtained from host governments. This is a market structure in active evolution. I would encourage all participants to monitor supervisory body decisions closely over the coming 12 to 24 months. This completes our discussion on carbon offset registries. Back to your host, Natalie. Thanks, Noor. I hope you are finding the course useful. Let's go to our final modules.